Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hannah and I like to make videos mostly like once a year. If you are new to my channel, which most of you probably are, I basically have just used this channel in the past as a place to dump all the videos of adventures I've gone on or things that I learned at BYU a couple months ago. I think I posted like a 10 tips to college success. And I really have this drive to create content. I really like creating content. My most consistent content platform right now is Instagram. And I have tried doing podcasts and I've tried doing YouTube videos. I've tried doing a couple different Instagram accounts for, art or my photography. And I think that I am going to try to focus on just one new platform outside of Instagram to try to build another place where I can create and upload content. And I have chosen that place to be YouTube. And so I'm going to be trying to make a couple more YouTube videos than I have in the past. Um, one thing that has prevented me from making more YouTube videos is that I don't want to make repeat content because there's a lot of content already on Instagram. But once the pandemic hit, I realized that it was still a good creative outlet. And then I also watched a video that I will link down below that was really helpful in helping me get motivated to focus on making a YouTube channel anyway and kind of improving it. And the basic idea was that as much content as you recreate, you will still be putting your own spin on it. And so I'm going to be putting my new spin on it. So for today's video, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my background in graphic design, and then maybe do a quick little tutorial on how to create a super, super easy poster from through Microsoft Word. Like, we won't even get into Adobe stuff today. I'll just pull up Microsoft Word and we will create a poster together. It should take maybe 5 minutes. And I'll give you some design tips that I've learned in the past 6 or 7 years I've been doing design and tell you a little bit more about my experiences. So let's go. Okay, so design wise, I only started getting paid to do design last year. Up to that point, it was all volunteer basis and like high school classes I was in, I would do stuff like that for my high school. But I did a whole bunch of things like t-shirts and sports programs, posters and flyers for like dance events. I designed the prom tickets. Probably the most out there, like, unique, very niche projects that I would do were the homecoming floats that the classes would do at the beginning of each school year. I would drop a couple different designs, and then my class would vote on them, and then I'd split them all into teams, and we would build the float. And I helped with that a lot, and that was kind of like the biggest multimedia type project that I did, where we were working with trailers and decorations, and then you have the backdrop, which is 2D, but then you have the props, which are 3D, and all this stuff. And it was really, really fun. It was crazy, but it was super fun, and I really liked doing those projects. Um, anyway, I started getting into design when I was like 8 and writing little stories in Microsoft Word, and I was a chicken pecker at the time, and I'd just start chicken pecking my little stories, and then I'd want to insert pictures to go with my stories, so they were kind of like illustrated. So I'd go to Google search, and like, I remember in 6th grade I wrote a scary story about girls who went to a haunted house and fell down this scary slide. And so I went to Google search and I just typed in haunted house, and it was, one of those cheesy ones with probably a watermark. And I figured out how to start pasting in pictures around the words, doing text wrapping, or if you do like transparencies and put it behind the words. Just very, very basic, copy and paste a picture that you find into a Word document. That's how I got started. And then I started messing around with different fonts, different font sizes, and just saying, like, hey, this looks cool if you do like this tiny block text above for the subtitle. And then you do this bigger, fancy word below it as the actual title, or, big main descriptor of the piece you're working on. And so I just started stacking and matching different fonts, according to what I thought looked good. I wasn't even looking at like other design tips. I never did a training course because I was little and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's cute," and I was like, "Yeah, it looks great," but I had no intention of making it anything bigger than that. And then when I got into high school, I kind of started doing it just for fun. I would start doing I got on the prom committee and I helped do the prom posters. And then when my prom group got together, I liked to make the itinerary and make it all fancy. And I don't know, that was just always really satisfying to me. And so I was always casually looking up how to do little design things like that, how to blend pictures together or how to overlay text and images because that's really what graphic design is. It's taking the visual elements and then the textual evidences, elements, evidences, textual evidence. Yay, high school uh, English class, textual evidence, right here. Um, Taking the textual elements and the visual elements and combining them to make them look nice and make them nice to look at. Like that's what you want. I mean, it's okay if it looks nice to you and it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're trying to be successful in design, you want it to look nice for other people. And that's where I started to develop my favorite style of design, which is obviously minimalist. I really like minimalist designs. I just updated all of the thumbnails across my channel and my watermark, and it's all very black and white minimalist, and I really like it. Um, Minimalist has a broader range of audience that it appeals to because there's fewer details and things like that. But anyway, I digress. So, in high school, I started doing the prom posters, I started doing things like that. And I kind of became like the not necessarily like the designer for the school, but just like if someone had like a design project that they needed done, I was one of the people that they could come to and I could help them do it. And so I started branching out and doing a lot of t-shirt designs and I helped with a lot of like school merchandise. I helped make coffee sleeve designs for our little coffee shop. Um, yeah, just a bunch of different projects like that. And then I started reaching out into the community. I got in touch with a committee that was doing like a summer hiking program, and I did logo development for them and I illustrated their programs. And that was super fun. They were all hand drawn illustrations, and I really liked that. It was different than the normal vector images I do now. And another community organization I got involved with was our local arts council, and I started doing stuff like that. I They do a lot of theater projects, so it was still posters and flyers and handouts and programs, but this was really fun because you could do like cast listing and incorporating headshots and doing like the cover art for the programs and things like that. And then I got to help with the photography side of it as kind of like a little bonus part. But it was all so much fun, and I just every project that I did, I liked it more and more and more, and I was just like, "This is the best thing ever." I never wanna stop doing design. And now, fast forward, I graduated high school, and I, started at BYU. I'm now 2 years through BYU, and, I applied last November. Yes, November of 2019, I applied for and got a job as the official graphic designer for the Education in Zion Gallery at Brigham Young University, which is super cool. And it was like a dream come true, basically, because now all of the stuff that I like to do for fun, it has become something that I get to do when I go to work. And I don't know how I'm going to top this job opportunity, and I know there will be plenty of others, but it was just such an exciting moment to get the call and they're like, "We want you to come help us with design at the gallery." And I was like, "No way. This is awesome." And it totally catapulted my design knowledge. I'm still obviously not a professional. I'm just a college student and I just like to do it for fun and I like to make things look nice. Um, but I have been catapulted into this new world of learning where I get to apply my skills I already know and I get to learn more. I'm looking up stuff, I'm going to classes and trainings, and I'm my the previous designer I did training with, he taught me how to do a lot of print publication and advertisements, which I had not done before. I did a lot of digital, um, in terms of, like, advertisement wise. This is so awkward, I'm sorry. But it was so much fun. And now here I am, I'm in quarantine up in Idaho, and this video is obviously gonna take, like, 10 years to upload because of the bad internet, but I still get to do that basically every day. I get to log on and, work on developing these designs for exhibitions, and I get to help update advertisements, and it's completely remote, and it's really been a privilege and a blessing to be able to do that. And I really hope that everybody gets to experience something like this in their lives. And I'm kind of worried that this is like that this is like my moment. Um and that it's like, it's only down from here, like, it's my most favorite job I've ever done, and it's so satisfying. But anyway, so that is kind of how I got into design. I did a graphic design class online in high school when I was, like, 15, but we used, uh, Inkscape, I think, and that was really hard for me to figure out. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's actually really good for beginners, so if you are trying to start out in graphic design, Inkscape is a good place to start. It'll help you get used to using different design tools. I also really like using Microsoft Word for Design. I don't know why. It's a document program, primarily document program, but I really like using it for, when you need to make a quick black and white flyer and it doesn't have to have anything fancy on it. And then obviously I've been working with Adobe. Um, for several years as well, and I learn something new every week. I'm not a professional, but I am more than willing to show you all the tips and tricks that I have seen, kind of giving back to this YouTube community that has taught me how to be a graphic designer. And so we are going to jump into this tiny project real quick. I'm going to pause my video and type up some details. So there's two things you need to have when you're doing graphic design, and I already mentioned them, but the visual and the text. You just need to know what you're saying and kind of like what you want it to look like ahead of time. If you have like a specific picture or even just like a color theme, a color that you want to incorporate into it. And so I'm going to pause my video, pause my recording, and I'm going to type up some details that we're going to put into this Microsoft Word poster, and then I will switch over to voiceover and we will continue on with the video, and I will share my screen with you and we will get going on that. So stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching so far. And if you liked listening about some of my stories, then please leave a like and subscribe if you want. And I'll be making more videos soon. I don't want to promise anything because I'm really bad at uploading, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try, you guys, okay? This is me promising you I'm gonna try because I really like making content. And I keep smacking my headphone. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. So let's go ahead and look at these details first. So it says, join us for our annual Christmas party. I just picked Christmas because I figured that is a pretty well-known holiday where you would make events and you would schedule events and make flyers or advertisements for those events. And it's very festive. It has lots of different icons or visual elements that you can use that are very fun, even though it's July. As you can see, it's July 6th. We are going to make a Christmas party flyer. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to make a very nice looking black and white flyer. This is just an 8.5 by 11, very normal. You can print it out from any printer anywhere. Excuse me. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to separate these things because this is just details that we want to include, but we don't know how we're going to say it. This is details that we're going to remove, like this text is not going to stay here. It's just an idea I had for visual elements. But all of this up here is what I want to actually be word for word on our flyer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to center this right here. And then out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of information, Christmas party is the most important part because that's what tells everybody what the poster is about, what the flyer is about, what's happening. Why is this, you get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, excuse me. I still have a little bit of a cough, so I apologize in advance. We're going to go ahead and take Christmas party, and we can adjust this later, but I'm just going to blow this up really big. The next most important part is obviously going to be the day, so they know what time it's at. So I'm going to blow that up, but not quite as big because you don't want it to outshine the title, I guess. I'm going to call this the title. You don't want it to outshine the title because then people will be like, oh, December 24th. Wait, Christmas party. The biggest thing on the biggest words are going to draw the most attention. Right when they look at it, you want their eyes to go to Christmas party before anything else. And then you want them to see what day it is, to see like, oh, I'm busy that day. And then if they're not busy that day, then they can join you. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because this is kind of like a subtitle, but it's like above it. It's like an intro, like, join us for our annual Christmas party. Yay. Okay. Then these other things are just details that we don't necessarily need to blow up super huge. They're just kind of like, you could even put this up here. So this is kind of fun. If you put like one of these and you make it the same size, that can be kind of fun. You can even do like that. Just like this little bar right here is our first non-text element. It's just a bar, a line, and all it does is separate this letter number 2020 from this number 6. And so people could tell, oh, it's this day at this time. Anytime you're doing any design, anything, you want it to be like, okay, yeah, this and this are separate. So let's look at, we have join us for our annual ... Christmas party, December 24th, 2020 at 6 p.m. This information, I was saying, it does not need to be as big because at this point they've seen this information already. The bigger text draws their eyes, and then if they decide that they want to go, then this is just more details for where to go if they need it. But if they don't need it, then it's not taking the attention away from up here. So now we have this little layout, and I don't think I like this 6 p.m. over here. I think I'm gonna put it down here for now. And this is all just under the assumption that we just clicked into the document and started typing. Like, we haven't even looked at like text wrapping and layers and stuff like that with Microsoft Word. This is like super, super basic. So I really like to use, with these bigger words, there's fewer words, and so you can kind of like be a little bit more free with this. These words, like you can pick a little bit more fun font for these ones because it's not too busy. Like, just visually it's still pretty simple, but it's fun. And then the key to font picking is that you want opposites. So because this Christmas party font is so this is Bistro Script in size 48, and because it's very thick, it's got lots of thick and thin lines, it's very curvy and handwritey looking, you want to pick a supporting or a complementary font that is actually the opposite of all of these things. So if this is super bold and black, then you maybe want to pick something that is a little thinner, like Century Gothic. I use that one. I also really like a body extra light. I think that's like, I've been using that so much recently. And then here is another cool hack. So we're going to say, join us for our annual up here. But I'm going to type this out again in all caps, which there's a shorter way to do that. You can just select it and say, I want all of that to be uppercase. But then it's kind of fun to go in and put spaces. I do 3 if you have more than one word. And yeah, so in the same word that you're grouping together, just 1 space in between each letter, and then you do 3, and then 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Perfect. And see, I really like how that looks. It kind of spreads it out, makes it look very simple, and then different fonts will take up different space. And so I'm going to just blow this up a little bit more. And yes, we're going to do that. I'm not sure why this white likes to cut off. It's like, do you see how the line only goes to there? It just means that this font doesn't like fit in the space provided. And if I had more time, then I would fix that, but I'm not really too worried about it right now. So then I'm just going to take these and I'm going to match them to the top font that we used. And now look, we have made a little font sandwich. Here's the buns, and this is the filling, and it looks delicious. I like how it looks. I think I'm going to switch December to all caps. My caps lock was on. December 24th, 6 o'clock p.m. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that spacing out again really quick. And yes, I'm going to do that. I'll leave the comma there. Perfect. I hate these little lines. I know they don't print them out, but don't check for this issue. Probably shouldn't do that, but I just don't like it when they do that. Okay, boom. There we are. We have join us for our annual Christmas party, December 24th, 2020 at 6 o'clock p.m. Our little font sandwich. Now, the next part, I'm also going to make this, because it's a lot of information, I'm going to make a body extra light. I do not mind it being lowercase and put together. And now we have our basic. You could even just take this. If you didn't want to add anything else to it, put that away down there. You could just copy and paste this and make 2 or maybe even 3 of them if you wanted to make little kind of like horizontal, long and thin invitations to just be like handing out to people or whatever. Oh, I zoomed in a little bit. But yeah, that's just like half a page, maybe even just a third of a page that you can print out as a nice little invitation. And I already think it looks really nice. It's very simple. It has all the information that is necessary, and then this extra information is just bonus. Excuse me. So if I were going to continue developing this poster, I would kind of just make everything a little bit bigger so that I kind of like how that matches on each side, but I'm not sure. Make this bigger, kind of like that size. Okay, that can stay there. Okay, now I like more negative space in it, so I'm just going to move it down. It's going to bring up the second page to accommodate this information, but you can just pretend it's not there. I'll make it gray so that it's invisible for a second, just enough you can see it. But there is a very basic poster centered in the middle if you're hanging up flyers. And then I would just probably take this and go down and start adding in some of these details, again with all caps on spaces in between. Food, music, visit from Santa. I'm gonna do cookie decorate. This takes a lot of concentration. Cookie decorate. 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 decorating and sent. Okay, so that's all taken care of. Now that I'm looking at this, I can I don't like the shape. It's shaped kind of like a little, like a stool or something. And I don't know if I like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy this, not delete it yet. I'm just going to stick that up there and see what I think. I don't know if I like it there. Oh, maybe if I make it a little bit smaller, because these are just details for people who, excuse me, who decide they want to come. Okay, I like that a little bit better. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this away, because I like it to be kind of in like a little bubble. Maybe if we even do like this. Some town, USA. That's where I live. Perfect. I really like how that looks. So now just remember that we want to do snowflakes and candy canes. Snowflakes and candy canes. Boom. There you go. This is a very, very basic little poster flyer that you can print out. You can copy and paste it 3 times and hand it out as little like invitations or whatever. Anyway, so now I'm going to go to one of my favorite places to get images. It's called Unsplash, and this is a really unique website. They do free high resolution photos, Christmas, and I really like them because you avoid a lot of copyright issues if you elect to use one of these images. And they have, like, you can search orientation, so like we want a portrait, any color, probably something not too busy. This is a little bit too busy in the background unless we blurred it a little bit. This actually could be really nice if you center your text here in this blurry and then you have these details on the top and bottom. That wouldn't look too bad. This wouldn't look too bad if it was a little bit blurry. But you don't want too much interacting with your text because then it can make it hard to read from far away. Ooh, this is really nice. But yeah, I really like Unsplash because you can... Oh, this is cute. We'll use this one just as an example. I'm going to download it. Now watch when I download it. Oh gosh, I don't know where to save it. We're just going to save it right into this folder. Perfect. Okay, right here. This gives you the credit for who took the photo, and you have the opportunity to thank them for sharing their work. And you can copy this if you want to credit them for their photography work. And so I like to do that sometimes. And so I will just go paste, keep text only, no, yes, just like that. And then, make it really small. You don't have to do this because Unsplash has like royalty-free images, so you don't have to worry about copyright. But I like to do it just because it's nice and it's somebody's work, somebody's creative work. And then if other people are looking for pictures, they can go to Unsplash. But anyway, so I'm gonna move this down here. Okay, now we get into the exciting part of adding a picture to make it look nice. So I'm just going to go right ahead, click Insert Picture on this device. And now I need to go find it. Actually, it might be on my quick access. Yes, there it is. Now it's going to push all of my text down below it. Yep. And then you either have this little handy dandy pop-up that gives you layout options, or you can go up to picture format and wrap text right here. And I'm just going to click behind text, and it tells it to go behind the text. It's just sitting back there. And now when you click off of it, you can click around in your text, and then if you click on that behind there, it just gives like a nice little background. So now we just have to adjust, and this one's not stuck under here either. Like you can bring it up here or anywhere that it needs to go. So now I'm just going to adjust this, and I don't know, there is a lot to do with bleed, especially if you're printing it. And bleed in this sense just means like the white edges on a document. So like around here, I don't want it to go all the way to the edge unless I need to trim it for something, which I don't think I do. So I don't mind the white edges. They're fine. I don't mind them. So now I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit bigger. Picture format, we're going to go to align and align it in the center because that's always nice, and then align it in the middle so that all of your white borders are equal. And now I'm going to bring this back up a little bit so that that white middle part is right there in the middle. And then I'm going to switch all of the text to white and see how that looks. Doesn't look too bad. And then I'm gonna go over here and find these photo credits that I like to include. Gonna put her down here. Oop, too far. There we go. And I'll just leave it right there. And you can do like a text box and then adjust it as you want. I'm gonna leave it dark so that it doesn't draw too much attention away. I like these little Christmas trees. I think they're cute. But anyway, so now we have this. I'm going to put some more spaces between these lines so that you can kind of, they don't look like a little lowercase l or anything. Okay, that's much better. And da-da-da. Okay, I think we're done. Here is our finished product. And I'll zoom out. Ta-da! There's your little thing. And then it's also really fun, if you wanted to keep this black, you could go in here, change it back to black, and then there's Microsoft Word is really powerful for being kind of in terms of design. It has quite a bit that you can do. You can do low saturation so that it's all black and white. You can also do like a light gray so that it's just kind of like that, which is cute. You can do washout, which I like to do sometimes. I still think it looks cute. You can see the background, but it's not as bold. And so there's still like, this is the most important thing you see. And then there's little Christmas trees, super cute. Yeah, anyway, this is our finished poster. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too hard and it didn't go too fast. And let me know if you recreate it. So thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching the video. And please give it a like and subscribe if you found this helpful. And I will hopefully be making more videos in the future. So thanks so much.